You might have heard of the familiar saying give and take, and it usually means compromise and mutual agreements in relationships, right? It's saying in a relationship you give some and you take some. And I want to focus on the feeling of you giving something and you receiving it back, because it's not just give and it's not just take. And of course, it also hints that it has to be a mutual giving and taking. And if you just do one side, that's not a healthy relationship nor a balanced one for both of you. And I want to highlight that in a good example and a bad example that I recently just felt. I have friends that are long distance friends. We have like 5 or 13-hour differences, and yet we still find a way to keep in touch. I have a friend that left like 3 to 4 years back, and we still keep in touch, and we still say good mornings and our goodbyes, and we still update about our lives. And although we might have missed the familiar feeling of just seeing each other and actually hearing each other's voices, and not hearing each other's voices, but being able to talk and have a conversation instead of a couple snaps and couple updates of solo videos like this YouTube video, there's still this connection and there's still this effort to log in every day and remember and cherish and sort of have this relationship between each other. And I think that's some aspect of having an equal set of values and equal set of some things that we're willing to give up for this. And there's another example, more recent one, where I had this person that I'm really close with leave to another country. And this person is actually not really good at texting back, and always, when we're in person, I would always be like, hey, check my chats, read it, like, hey, like, come on. A big worry and fear that I had when this person left was that, am I going to have this connection, or is it just going to fizzle out? And I was really afraid of the notion that this might end and that this connection would not be sustainable, because from previous actions, I know that this person might even take a month or two to even respond, and that they're just not good with replying back to texts. And if there's no physical world where we can connect and actually see each other and catch up, how are we gonna do this when there's no opportunity for us to actually talk it out in person? There was always there's this thing that we always did where if this was sort of a serious conversation or something that or an intellectual one or an emotional one that actually would be better off like talking face to face, then we would log it in so we can talk it physically. But if there's no destination of this physical reality that we can put aside our genuine conversations that actually build our relationships on, how is our friendship going to play out? And this also relates to saying, if they wanted to, they would. I just wanted to quickly interject, and I know that the saying, if they wanted to, they would, has implications that all these nuances, like, even if they wanted to, they might actually not be able to because of ABCs. I know there's nuance to that saying in itself, yeah. Just throwing it out there. And I think that's really true because we have both learned. From my part, I've learned to just put out all of my thoughts, and then I know that this person's gonna come back at me in a couple days. And I know that if I put this, and we already have a system that works out, that allows us to have the meaningful conversations, but still allow each person to move at their pace. And on the other hand, this person has learned to, better with their communication. They've try to set dates and set specific reminders to say, hey, respond to Selena's texts. Hey, this is the time where we catch up. Or we also even have a system. It's just something that works between us where, hey, if either one of us sees a message and we want to get back at it, but we just don't have enough time right now or personal capacity, we would send an emoji over and be like, hey, I saw this message. I think it's really cool and I want to respond to this, but I am not mentally available right now. So I'll get back to you when I'm available. But I still wanted to make sure that you knew that I got the text and I saw it. And I think that reassurance from both of us and both sides works really well. And even and I think the fear that we both had and the sort of value that we placed on our relationships really did help and really put this give and take thing of, hey, I will sort of do this and modify sort of my how I think or how I operate with maybe texting or online or with my phone in general, so I can have and I can sustain this relationship with you because it matters so much. On the contrary, I had problems where the thought of sacrifice and the thought of how far I'll go for a relationship just didn't match. For example, I felt almost like I was in a loop. I was Sisyphus when I had these friends that I really appreciated and really valued, and if someone was bad mouthing them, for example, in front of me, I would step up and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean?" and defend this person. But then on the other hand, this person just told me if someone badmouthed me, but I was like, hey, so did you say anything? Like, did you do anything? Then the friend will say, no, I didn't. Like, why would I? And I was like, oh, so you're comfortable with having other people, essentially devalue and sort of talk bad about me. And it just didn't work. It just showed me how much, they valued our relationship and how much of a difference that we had, and I was not comfortable and I was not happy in essence pursuing this relationship when I know that I was putting in maybe 60 or 70% of the work and this person just put in 30 or 40. And it was frustrating and it just hurt a lot, to be honest. It was like, oh, like I thought we were on the same pace, but I guess we're not. And I think finding that good example of someone that clicks with you and someone that understands and someone that will willingly like meet you up to where you are needed is so important. I think this sort of topic came up into my mind because of a recent frustration that I had with especially friends with different time zones. I think I really look at time as in I can just give up a little bit of time, and it won't hurt. And to be honest, I have a really flexible schedule, and except for hard deadlines that are set by somebody else, I'm just really okay with moving things around and being like, oh, hey, you want to have a nice day out with me? Yeah, I'll move things around. I can make it work. And there are meetings with friends that only barely take a couple hours, and just a couple days ago, I was on a call for 2 hours and did it mess up my schedule a little? Yeah. But then it was okay because that's just a temporary, like, I stayed up late 2 hours more than I'm supposed to, and maybe I'd feel a little tired the next morning, but I know I can bounce back from it. I know I can just sleep earlier to the next day, and that would be it. I know I can give up maybe 2 hours of my time to do something for this person or meet this person, even if I have this thing, because I know it's just 2 hours, and I already spend so much time just on YouTube, or just practically on YouTube, like watching different like videos. Why not just substitute that with this? I can provide that, and that is something that I'm willing to give. And sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes this person's like, hey, I am not really going to give up my time because I have this stressful other thing that sort of requires more time. And I totally understand that. I'm like, yeah, if you're like, obviously, and that doesn't mean like I can push back this meeting that we're supposed to have because I'm free. We can push it back a couple of days. We can push it a week later. Like, I'm fine. And that doesn't undermine our relationship, or that doesn't show me that you don't want to hang out with me because you're willing to reset the date. You're willing to sort of be like, hey, I can't do it right now. I'm really sorry, but can we do it this day? I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay is when that continuously happens. That happens for weeks at a time, and I feel like you're just not valuing the time that we set. You're not valuing and you're not putting much thought into this time slot that we have that is reserved for us. I think about this a lot, especially because I have a lot of people that need accommodation, and they need accommodation for me, and they need our relationship needs accommodation and compromise. And it's not just it's not just like little ones, but it's like actual physical distance that we're working against. It's actually time zones that we're fighting against. So yeah, hope you had a good day, and see you.